1 hour, 60 minutes. That's all it takes to separate the men who wish from the men who will. Most people think power is born from brilliance, connections, or fate. They're wrong. Power is born from discipline, cold, invisible discipline, performed when nobody is watching. While the average man scrolls, complains, and waits for motivation, you will be building, you will be sharpening, you will be becoming dangerous. This is the Machiavelli method. Small, precise moves, executed daily, multiplied over time. 1 hour a day doesn't sound like much until you realize how rare it is. Because most people can't control themselves for 5 minutes, let alone 60. They want a new life without a new identity. They want respect without resistance. They want power without the price, but not you. You're here because you feel the shift. Something inside you is waking up, the part of you that refuses to live like prey. From this moment on, every hour becomes a weapon. Every session becomes a step toward becoming untouchable. If you understand this, comment, "I bend reality to my will." Say it and make it real. Section 1. The hidden law of power. There's a rule the powerful never teach you, a law whispered in backrooms and strategy tables. Power belongs to the one who controls himself. Not the one who shouts the loudest. Not the one who is liked the most, but the one who cannot be moved. 1 hour a day is not about productivity. It's about domination of self, of time, of weakness. Machiavelli understood this. He knew that a ruler who cannot control himself will never control a kingdom. The same applies to you. Your mind is your territory. Your habits are your soldiers, and your purpose is your throne. Every hour you commit trains the inner dictator, the part of you that says, "I desire nothing from them, but they will desire everything from me." You won't need to prove your worth to anyone. You won't need validation, applause, or permission. Your results will speak in a language weaker men can't understand. If you're ready to rule yourself before you rule anything else, comment, "My mind bows to me alone." Say it again. Because every time you speak it, you take another inch of territory. Section 2. The 1 hour war. Every day, you are at war. Not with enemies, not with society, not even with fate. The real war is with the weaker version of you, the version that wants comfort, distraction, and excuses. That version will fight to survive. It will whisper, "You've done enough." It will negotiate, "Just take 1 day off." It will beg, "Why does this matter so much?" That voice is your true opponent. If you can conquer it once a day for 1 single hour, you become unstoppable. People who lack inner discipline will call it obsession. They'll tell you to relax, slow down, embrace balance. What they're really saying is, "Stay where I am so I don't have to feel inferior." Understand this. You don't owe them comfort. You don't owe them relatability. You don't owe them anything. Your mission is not to be understood. Your mission is to be undeniable. Every hour you invest is a strike against mediocrity. Every chapter you read, every rep you grind, every skill you build. These acts accumulate like compound interest, but the currency is power. And while everyone else prays for motivation, you're training your will. While they chase inspiration, you're building identity. While they drift, you calculate. That is the Machiavellian approach. Cold, calm, deliberate. You will defeat yourself before you defeat the world, because a man who masters himself becomes a man no one can master. That is the essence of the 1 hour war. If you're ready to wage that war and win it, comment, "I am my own commander." Write it, declare it. Turn discipline into domination. Section 3. The psychology of becoming untouchable. Most people want strength, but they want it without sacrifice. They want power, but they want everyone to approve of it. They want to rise, but they refuse to detach from the things that keep them weak. That is why they remain ordinary. That is why they never become untouchable. But you are different. You wouldn't still be here if you weren't. The path to becoming untouchable begins inside the mind, not with affirmations and not with positivity, with deconstruction. You must destroy the parts of you built by society's expectations, the version that seeks validation, the version that fears judgment, the version that needs to be liked. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be respected or feared. And both outcomes begin with the same foundation. unshakable inner control. This is where Machiavellian philosophy fuses with dark psychology. Not manipulation of others, but mastery of the human mind, starting with your own. You begin to analyze your emotions instead of obeying them. You observe your impulses like they belong to someone else. You detach from praise and criticism with equal indifference. Most men are controlled by their feelings. A powerful man controls his state. He uses emotion like a weapon, not a leash. A weak man reacts. A strong man responds. An untouchable man decides. Once you reach that level, people will start to sense it. A shift in your eyes. A new stillness in your presence. A quiet certainty in your voice. They won't know what changed, but they'll feel it. They'll hesitate when they speak to you. They'll watch how you move. They'll start saying your name when you're not in the room. That's when you'll know you're becoming untouchable, because they'll talk about you like you're watching them even when you're not there. And it all begins with 1 hour a day. If you're fully committed to this transformation, comment right now. My silence is my strength. Write it. Feel it. Make it your identity. Section 4. The strategic hour. Most people waste their hours. They spread their energy thin, scrolling, reacting, chasing noise. They live in response mode, always answering to someone else's agenda. But the Machiavellian mind does not drift. It directs, it allocates, it deploys every hour with military precision. Your 1 hour a day is not a ritual, it is a strategy, a controlled strike against weakness, a vote cast for the future version of you that others won't recognize. In that hour, there are no distractions, no entertainment, no negotiation. You become a sovereign state, a ruler directing his own time, his own growth, his own evolution. But here's the truth. The hour itself is not what matters. The world is full of people who spend hours working and achieve nothing. What matters is how you use it. This is where psychology becomes warfare. For 60 minutes, you are not allowed to operate like the average mind. You must think like a strategist, cold, clear, calculating. You must treat your time like a resource that can be weaponized. Your goal is not just improvement. It is advantage, competitive advantage, inner advantage, strategic advantage. That means your hour must be spent in one of 3 power zones. 1. Skill acquisition to become valuable. Not generic, replaceable skills, power skills. The kind that give you leverage, status, and control. Something the world needs, but few can master. 2. Self-construction to become unshakable. Training, reading, studying power, psychology, history, tactics, feeding the mind that will later lead the body. 3. Strategic execution to become inevitable, taking calculated steps toward your long-term position, building a business, creating, training, preparing. Not for today's applause, but for tomorrow's dominance. During that hour, you detach from emotion and operate like a machine. No complaining, no hesitation, no mental negotiation. Because when you enforce discipline on yourself, the world unconsciously feels it. Your presence hardens. Your decisions become final. Your energy stops leaking. People don't respect you because of what you say. They respect you because they sense what you've survived, what you've out-trained, what you've refused to surrender. And if you keep this up, 1 hour a day, people won't compete with you. They'll try to explain your success away. They'll accuse you of having advantages you never had. They'll tell themselves lies to protect their ego while you continue advancing. That is the strategic hour, a silent declaration that you are no longer one of them. If you're still here, still focused, still hungry. Comment now, I upgrade while they sleep. Say it, own it. Become the person others cannot catch. Section 5. The art of emotional detachment. Power dies the moment you take things personally, the moment you react instead of respond, the moment your emotions become your master. If you want to live like everyone else, feel freely. If you want to rise above everyone else, detach. This is one of the hardest truths in dark psychology. People don't control you through force. They control you through your own emotions. When they can trigger you, they own you. When they can guilt you, they steer you. When they can anger you, they expose you. You become predictable, and predictable people are powerless. So you must become something else, something colder, something unreadable, something they cannot provoke. I'm not telling you to become emotionless. Number, I'm telling you to become emotionally disciplined. You still feel anger, but you decide when it's useful. You still feel fear, but you never show it. You still feel pain, but you convert it into action instead of tears. That is psychological sovereignty. You own your state, no matter the circumstance. That is the birthplace of power. That is how kings and conquerors kept their thrones. Most men bleed emotionally in public, that they overshare. They announce their insecurities. They seek validation online, publicly, desperately. And then they wonder why they're not respected. Respect is not earned through exposure. It's earned through restraint. If you want strength, build muscle. If you want respect, build mystery. People fear what they cannot read. They respect what they cannot manipulate. They admire what they cannot break. Silence will protect you more than loyalty ever will. Composure will carry you farther than talent ever could. But none of this happens by accident. Self-control is not a gift. It is a skill forged in repetition. And your 1 hour a day is where it is forged. Every time you resist checking your phone, you're training. Every time you work when you're tired, you're training. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it, you're training. You are not just becoming productive. You are becoming dangerous. There will come a moment when someone tries to provoke you, to test you, to get a reaction, and instead of breaking, you will simply observe. You will give them nothing, no expression, no energy, no weakness. That moment is the day you become untouchable, and they will know it, because the silent man, the calm man, the man who does not react, is the one who holds the real power. If you understand this, and you're ready to build that level of control, comment, "My emotions work for me, not against me." Say it like a vow, because one day you'll need it, and when that day comes, you won't fold. You'll watch the world rage while you remain still, and that stillness will terrify them. Section 6. The social power shift. There comes a point in your evolution where the world starts responding to you differently, not because you changed how you talk, but because you changed how you carry yourself. And people can feel it. They can feel your discipline, they can feel your restraint, they can feel your lack of need, and it unsettles them. Because the average person's sense of self depends on external reactions. They need to be liked, they need to be understood, they need to belong, they need to be validated, but not you, not anymore. You've been training for something different. You don't need their approval, you control your own narrative. This is the true power shift. When you no longer chase connection, connection chases you. You become rare, not because you hide, but because you no longer hunt. People are drawn to the man who doesn't beg for attention. They're intrigued by the man who has boundaries. They're magnetized by the man who doesn't react emotionally. Your silence stops being shyness and starts being authority. Your presence stops being overlooked and starts being evaluated. People will start treating you differently in conversations. They'll speak more carefully. They'll hesitate before interrupting. Some will lower their voice when they talk to you because in the back of their mind, they know you are not like the others. All of this happens silently. No announcements, no speeches. Power doesn't introduce itself. It reveals itself, but understand this. As your power rises, so will the reactions. Some will admire you, some will fear you, some will try to imitate you, and others will try to undermine you. They'll say you've changed. They'll accuse you of being cold, arrogant, distant. But these are simply the cries of people losing access to the version of you they could control. Good. Let them cry. Let them complain. That is the price of evolution. A wolf does not apologize for no longer behaving like a sheep. And here's where the Machiavellian truth becomes unavoidable. Power will always threaten the powerless. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not soften your edges to be accepted. Do not downplay your ambition so weaker men feel safer. Because every time you do, you betray the hours you've invested. You betray the discipline you've earned. You betray the future version of yourself looking back in disappointment. When you embrace your power fully, 3 things happen. 1. You speak less, but everything you say carries weight. People stop ignoring your words. They start quoting them. 2. You lose more people but gain more respect. The weak fall away, the strong take notice. 3. You stop seeking opportunity and start attracting it, not because you're lucky, but because you became someone opportunities are drawn to. That is the power shift. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens hour by hour, silently, relentlessly, until one day the world reacts to you differently and can't explain why. And if you're truly ready for that shift, if you're ready to walk into rooms and command respect without a word, then write in the comments right now, "My presence speaks louder than my voice." Say it, because soon you won't need to. Section 7. The long game of power. Everyone wants power. Very few understand its timeline. Even fewer are willing to endure the years required to earn it. The weak crave quick victories, viral moments, overnight fame, instant admiration. They want the crown without the conquest. They want the throne without the scars. But power is not a moment. Power is an accumulation, a series of decisions, a habit of discipline, a long-term strategy executed in silence. This is where most men break. They start strong, full of passion and energy. But they fall the moment results don't arrive immediately, because deep down they weren't committed. They were interested. Interested when it felt exciting. Interested when it made them look motivated. Interested when they could post about it online. But you're here because you're done with interest. You have moved into inevitability. You understand that 1 hour a day is not about today. It's about positioning. It's about compound power. It's about becoming a threat not this year, but in 3 years. Machiavelli taught rulers to think in decades, not days, to form alliances before they are needed, to eliminate weaknesses before they become vulnerabilities. This is what you're doing now. You're building things no one sees. And that's exactly why they'll be impossible to stop later. Your peers will think they know you. They'll see the same face, the same name, the same man. What they won't realize is that underneath it all, your mind has sharpened, your habits have hardened, your standards have risen. They won't understand how you suddenly have leverage, how you move with certainty, how you seem untouchable. But if they could watch your life like surveillance footage, they'd see it clearly. That hour, every day, always, slowly turning you into someone different, someone they can't compete with anymore. That's the long game, boring to the average, terrifying to the weak, magnetic to the powerful. The long game forces you to master 3 crucial principles. 1. Delayed gratification. You must become immune to the modern addiction to instant results. Every other man is a slave to pleasure. You are learning to delay it, to hold it to convert that withheld energy into focus, power, strategy. The longer you can delay gratification, the larger the reward you can eventually command. 2. Controlled isolation. You must learn to step back from noise, not forever, but strategically. Isolation is where clarity is born. Isolation is where identity is forged. Isolation is where weak friendships die and powerful standards rise. The world fears being alone because they can't survive in their own mind. You're building a fortress in yours. 3. Identity over motivation. Motivation fades. Identity remains. When you are the type of man who trains, you train. When you are the type of man who studies, you study. When you are the type of man who commands himself, you obey your own orders. This isn't about forcing yourself. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs forcing. Because discipline is no longer something you do. It's something you are. The long game is lonely. It's unforgiving. It's slow. But in the end, everyone who mocked you will either fear you or follow you. They think they have time. They think life is a marathon without consequences. They think they'll eventually get serious. But you already know the truth. Time is the most ruthless enemy in existence. And the only way to defeat it is to use it better than everyone else. That is why your hour matters. That is why your devotion matters. That is why your discipline matters. Because when they finally realize the gap between who they are and who you became, that gap will be permanent. If you are committed to the long game, write it now. My future bows to my consistency. Say it with intent, say it with finality, say it like a man who already knows he will win. Because he's willing to do what others won't. Section 8. Commanding the battlefield of the mind. If the world is a battlefield, then your mind is the command center, and most men have surrendered control of theirs without a fight. They allow distraction to dominate. They allow impulses to dictate their direction. They allow emotion to sabotage execution. They think they are free, but their thoughts are ruled by weakness. You must not be like them. You must seize your mind the way a ruler seizes territory, with precision, with force, with absolute authority. Your power begins where your control begins. This is the overlooked truth of dark psychology. People are easy to manipulate because they do not understand themselves. They are predictable because their emotions control their decisions. They are weak because their inner world is chaotic. A man who does not master his mind will be mastered by the world. This is why your 1 hour a day is sacred. It is not just training, it is not just progress, it is mental conquest. You become the governor of your inner state. You decide when to think, when to act, when to feel. You create distance between impulse and decision. That gap is where power lives. You stop reacting like prey and begin responding like a strategist. You do not explode. You calculate. You do not panic. You observe. You do not beg. You position. This shift creates psychological gravity. People sense your internal order, and they either align with it or break against it. Because when your mind becomes disciplined, everything else follows. Your speech becomes intentional. Your posture becomes assertive. Your decisions become final. Your presence becomes heavy. That is the essence of cold power. Not loud, not aggressive, but undeniable. A man who controls himself makes others adjust. A man who controls his time becomes unpredictable. A man who controls his emotions becomes untouchable. And here's where most men sabotage themselves. They treat discipline like punishment instead of freedom. They think self-control is restriction. They think structure is oppression. They think focus is boring. The truth? Self-control is the highest form of power. Freedom without discipline is just chaos wearing a mask. Your hour each day is how you build immunity to distraction, addiction, and weakness. Not by resisting forever, but by training your mind to no longer crave what slows it down. The average man is addicted to stimulation. You must become addicted to clarity. The average man chases dopamine. You must pursue domination. The average man seeks comfort. You must seek command. There are 3 mental weapons that will transform you from a distracted civilian into a psychological tactician. 1. Controlled awareness. The ability to watch your thoughts like a third party, to recognize patterns, impulses, fears, and see them without obeying them. Once you can watch your mind objectively, the mind can no longer deceive you. 2. Ruthless focus, not multitasking, not scattered effort, laser-driven execution. Of focus is how small efforts become massive results. Focus is how time multiplies instead of disappearing. Focus is how ordinary men become anomalies. 3. Emotional neutrality. The power to remain still under pressure, to see chaos without absorbing it, to face disrespect without flinching, to stay centered while everyone else is unraveling. This is what Machiavelli meant by ruling oneself before ruling others. You are not just becoming disciplined, you are becoming sovereign. And that inner sovereignty cannot be borrowed. It cannot be faked. It cannot be inherited. It must be earned hour by hour by hour. This is your battlefield, not the world, not social media, not other men, but the territory behind your eyes, the one place where every victory begins and every failure is born. If you understand this, if you're ready to conquer the battlefield within, then write it in the comments now. My mind is my kingdom. Say it like a ruler taking his throne, because that is exactly what you're becoming. Section 9. The calculated evolution of power. You are not here to improve, you are here to evolve. Improvement is for amateurs. Evolution is for strategists. Improvement is linear. Evolution is exponential. The men you are competing with don't even know they're in a competition. They are asleep in the illusion of plenty of time. And you are awake in the reality that every action compounds. Every hour counts. And every version of you is either being built or destroyed. Evolution doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in layers. The shedding of what is weak, the reinforcing of what is strong, the upgrading of what is necessary. If you stay consistent, this is what will happen to you over time, phase by phase. Phase 1, the separation. You begin to detach from the habits, conversations, and people that once defined you. Not out of bitterness, but because they no longer match your trajectory. You stop explaining your goals. You stop defending your ambitions. You realize that most people want you predictable, not powerful. They will mock you, they will doubt you, they will claim you've changed, and you will look them in the eyes and think, good. Because separation is the first sign of elevation. Phase 2, the refinement. Your language changes, your posture changes, your energy tightens, you become deliberate, you become measured. Every move becomes strategic. People start noticing you do things differently. You show up earlier, you speak less, you execute more. You don't brag about what you're doing. You let the results arrive as a surprise attack. The old version of you would have sought praise. The new version just seeks completion. Phase 3, the internal shift. This is where the real transformation begins. Your identity locks in. You no longer try to be disciplined. You simply are. Motivation disappears, but the work continues. You no longer negotiate with yourself. You command. Self-respect begins replacing self-doubt. Self-trust replaces insecurity. Silence replaces explanation. Others will still think you're working on self-improvement. But what they don't understand is that you are no longer improving. You're replacing weakness with structure, replacing excuses with execution, replacing identity with power. Phase 4, the power shift. At this stage, the world starts reacting to you differently. Opportunities appear where there were none. People start treating your time like it has value. Those who once dismissed you begin fearing your potential. This is where you must stay sharp, because admiration will tempt you to relax and attention will tempt you to seek approval. But you are not here for validation. You are here for dominance. You do not want applause. You want leverage. You are not building influence for entertainment. You are building it for impact, for future control, for strategic advantage. Phase 5, real power. The final phase is not loud, not dramatic, not social media ready. It is silent, cold, calculated. You become a man who makes moves behind the curtain, and the world sees only the effects, not the meetings, not the hours, not the strategy, just the results. And people will say, he's lucky. He has something we don't. It just worked out for him. But you will know the truth. You didn't get lucky. You got disciplined. You didn't get gifted. You got relentless. You didn't get chosen. You chose yourself. That is the Machiavellian truth they will never understand. Power is not offered. It is taken, not in a single act, but in thousands of acts performed in silence. This evolution is not for everyone. It's for the few who are willing to fight themselves before they fight the world. The few who are willing to be overlooked, doubted, mocked, and underestimated, all while patiently crafting the future in the shadows. The hour you dedicate each day is not just time. It is a signature, a vow, a declaration to your future self. I will not die ordinary. If those words resonate with your soul, write this final phrase in the comments. I evolve without permission. Say it with conviction. Say it like you already know the world will recognize you, even if it takes years. Section 10, the final command, becoming untouchable. Listen carefully, because this is the most important part of everything you've heard so far. There is a point in every man's life when he must decide who he will be from this moment forward. Not who he wants to be, not who he talks about becoming, but who he chooses to become. Through action, through discipline, through the force of will. That point is now, not tomorrow, not when life is convenient, not when motivation magically returns, now. Because if there's one truth that separates the weak from the powerful, it's this. The weak wait for the right moment. The powerful create it. Everything you've built, every hour, every sacrifice, every silent victory has been preparing you for the next stage, to stop improving and start dominating. This is where men separate into two categories, the ones who peak and the ones who keep ascending. You have seen enough. You have heard enough. You have done the groundwork. Now the question becomes, will you stay committed long enough to become unrecognizable? Not physically, though that may happen too, but mentally, spiritually, energetically. Becoming untouchable is not about being feared. It is not about being praised. It is about being unaffected. Unaffected by opinions, unaffected by rejection, unaffected by jealousy, disrespect, temptation, or noise. You become the man who cannot be manipulated because he has trained himself to be unmoved. You become the man who cannot be outworked because discipline is already part of your identity. You become the man who cannot be defeated because you no longer battles others. You only battle yesterday's version of yourself. And here is the final piece of Machiavellian truth. Once you master yourself, every room you walk into becomes yours. Not because you force it, not because you demand it, but because humans are wired to follow order, and you have become the embodiment of order. Internally, psychologically, behaviorally. This is the kind of power they don't teach. Not in school, not in business, not in society. But history has always belonged to men who operated like this. Calm under pressure, strategic in silence, patient in the climb, relentless in execution. This is your path now, not a trend, not a motivational phase, but a lifelong contract with yourself, signed with your discipline, reinforced through execution, paid for with every hour you refuse to waste. Years from now, when they ask how you changed, you won't talk about luck, you won't talk about opportunities, you won't talk about the perfect moment. You will simply say, 1 hour a day, every day, no excuses. That is the Machiavelli method, not motivational hype, not fake positivity, a ruthless, strategic, masculine commitment to internal power. And before this monologue ends, I want you to write one final phrase in the comments, not just for me, but for your future self. I am becoming untouchable. Say it like a declaration. Say it like a warning. Say it like a prophecy already in motion. Because from this moment forward, you are not allowed to collapse into weakness again. You are not allowed to abandon yourself again. You are not allowed to live like the average man. Because you know too much now. You've seen what's possible. You've felt the shift. You've heard the strategy. Now you must live it. Daily, quietly, relentlessly. If you do, you won't just change your life. You will change your destiny. And if anyone ever asks where it all started, you'll remember this message, this moment, this hour, the hour where you stopped being a dreamer and became a threat. Final call to action. If this message hit you, if you're ready to become untouchable, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications, because the next era of your life begins now. This is Mental Fort, and we're just getting started.